retail store. One of my valued viewers asked me to make a comparison video between the iPad Air 2 and the iPad Mini 4. And since I never say no to anybody before, I never say no to my viewers. Well, due to my scarce view count, the viewer kindly trusted my expertise, so well, I'll do that. The thing is, well, I didn't mean to offend you. In order to do like specs comparison between the 4th generation iPad Mini and the iPad Air 2, you don't really need Mark Pubate. If you really want to do like specs comparison between the iPad Air 2 and the 4th generations of the iPad Mini, you don't really need me, because you can just punch into the Google search toolbox, and and you go to like phonesarena.com and stuff like that. You can see the spec comparison. But well, you trusted my expertise, so I gotta tell you two little secrets. Number one, well, when we compare to the 1st generation iPad Air, the 2nd generation of the iPad Air has way better screen. They overhauled the screen from the ground up. So I'm not going to talk about, well, the color is more like crisp and like vivid and stuff like that, but when you use stylus on it, your stylus will be more like precise and accurate. But the thing is, you got better screen for the iPad Air 2. But the iPad Air 2 is not compatible with the Apple's proprietary Apple Pencil. How come? So you discursively forced me to buy the dot script from like a third-party company? You gotta be kidding me. Secondly, have you ever wondered or noticed that why didn't Apple release the 3rd generation of the iPad Air alongside the iPad Pro during the September event? Tell me. It's about marketing trick. It's about deceptive trade practices. They didn't want to divert people's attention from the iPad Pro. We're in a pickle here, and you're making your perplexing decision here. Why you need me? First of all, it's not a good time to even think or consider buying the iPad Air 2, because the iPad Air 2 is already obsolete. Apple will be releasing the 3rd generation purported iPad Air 3 in March during the March event, the March media event. If the rumors were true, you're gonna get 4K display, smart connector, stereo 4-speaker system, and also due to the teardrop cutouts on the back, you're gonna get the LED flash underneath the camera. Well, if I were you, I would wait and see the March media event. I might consider buying the iPad Air 3 if I'm a big fan of the Apple's proprietary smart keyboard. I want to make the most of the smart connector. For I know it's the water repellent, like a spill repellent or something. For I know, for that particular keyboard, I'll wait to see if it might come with the 4K display or not. But if it's 4K, I want to buy. I want to be early adopter or so-called guinea pig. I think it's a good chance for me. It's a good chance for me. After we release the 3rd generation of the iPad Air, I might consider buying the outdated, the antiquated, the outmoded, obsolete, or so-called clearance iPad Air 2. So you should hold off your decision. How do you plan on using your iPad 4? How do you plan? Mark, you don't know anything about the specs. You don't know anything. So you're trying to circumvent what I asked you? You don't even know anything. you're not qualified to make this video. Fuck, man. Eggs, shivers, and eggs. And another plan. Probably we need a tank here. A secret project. And this particular project is under development. It's called near field resonance based wireless charger. Is under development. It's the technology of the future. You might wonder, Mark, why did you bring it up? Well, I might wait and hold off my decision. Wait for the iPad. The iPad Pro lacks the 3D touch. Everyone is talking about the new technology about the wireless charger. Another plan. Great! I'm making this video. A wireless charger. And did you know that there is an underlying project and is under development? They're making a phone that can draw the plasma from the sun and store that plasma from the sun from 92.96 million miles away and store it as its power source. Therefore, the battery lasts up to 1,000 years on a single charge. I was joking. So the thing is, the iPad Air 2 and iPad Mini 4, they are on par for the processor performance. But when it comes to GPU or graphics performance or the graphics chip, the iPad Air 2 is 50% faster compared to the iPad Mini 4. Do you do graphic intensive tasks on a regular basis? Albeit you do, don't buy it now. Wait after the March event and buy the clearance models. The outdated iPad. And another plan. I haven't heard one plane flying by since this morning. Before I decided to make this video. Now I'm making this, and you know what? I've seen like 5 planes flying by. What's going on here? Okay, so let's get started. Do you do like graphic intensive games, photo editing, movie editing? Well, the thing is, the difference is not quite obvious in real world taste or real life usage. So I think it's about the size. The size really does matter. Okay. I've been working for Apple stores for 10 years. I do know what I'm talking about. The ideal size of the iPad is the iPad Air 2. The best iPad is the iPad 2. Then you got the iPad Air, the iPad 3 or the new iPad. At the time, people had problems, had issues about the heat, about the battery drainage. The iPad 4 is good, but it's not stable. It crashes, it freezes. And then the first generation of the iPad Air with narrow edges, sometimes you might inadvertently distort the screen. And then we got the iPad Air 2 and the forthcoming iPad Air 3. What about the iPad Mini? The first generation of the Mini is too outdated, it's antiquated. The second one is good, but it lacks the fingerprint scanner. And then you got the iPad Mini 3, you got fingerprints, new color, who gives a shit about the gold tone one. And we got the faster processor inside the iPad Mini 4. So the overall performances of the iPad Mini 2 and 3 are all like pretty much the same, so the 4 is fine. Well, how do you plan on using an iPad? The thing is, for me, I think about gaming experience, of course, you got faster GPU Angry Birds don't count. For the iPad Air 2, but I think for some games, I know every games because I got a fan page about, I have to do like app reviews. So sometimes like the iPad, the screens of the iPad Air 2 is too big for several games because your thumb can really move across on the screen to a certain button because without having to let go one hand. So you might accidentally drop it. And albeit the iPad mini, well, you can hold the iPad mini with one hand, but I have never seen one in my life really hold it in one hand because they were afraid of dropping it because it's quite expensive though, and the Apple Care or the iPad, the Apple proprietary warranty doesn't cover the physical damages caused by accident, especially when you dropped it. So the thing is, for me, well, the size is fine when you want to control your game, unless you got very big hands. But the thing is, like, this issue is quite subjective. So you can hook it up to the Apple TV and do it like that because some games will transform your iPad into a controller and stuff like that. So I'm not going to talk about game, but at least you know that the Air 2 is 50% faster in terms of graphics performance compared to the iPad Mini 4. CPUs are on par. The thing is, at the store, I'll give you the fact that the iPad Mini 4 outsold the iPad Air 2. First of all, yes, don't underestimate the price. It's cheaper, and secondly, well, it's more portable. It's like smaller shit like that, and ladies like the size. So, well, if you just need an iPad for just monitor your stocks, your portfolio, or like if you just need an iPad for like chatting experience, like you do like WhatsApp, WeChat, or Line, stuff like that. And I think it's fine. But when it comes to, you know what, I want to say something. I'm going to say about book, because one of my most popular videos. The video calls how to get free ebooks. At the end of the video I said, well, I'm not saying that you're going to have to be a greedy crook. You're going to have to support the writers. Don't steal. So you're going to have to support the writers. Go buy the tangible ones, support your writers. Well, if you need to just read a black and white novel, Stephen King, The Stand, well, can you see the chunks of books, heavies, and well, it comes to this place for ebook readers. And for me, an ideal ebook reader is Kindle. If you prefer to like, I have just recently I purchased this one, Stephen King, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Actually, Stephen King wrote another book. The one is called The Girl Who Hated Mark Pubate. Yeah, he wrote that, but it wasn't published. So, the book, this particular size of pocket book, this one is great. I ordered this one from the States. One is $6.99. To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. This one is really, really good. The writer is all her life. She wrote only one book. She decided to write another one in 2015 as the age of 87. But who cares? I'm telling you that the iPad is not. It's not a good black and white book reader. Go buy a Kindle, but it's a decent PDF reader. I have done my severe research, and I found that, well, the good reader is one of the best. Well, some load it very fast, but the text weren't so sharp and stuff like that. I have discovered that when you read, like for this one, oh God, welcome to Jurassic Park. So you want to read this one on the iPad Mini. So you got to read the shrunken down version of it, which is, the thing is, the iPad Mini screen doesn't suffice for such a book, so you have to hold it horizontally. Well, it's not too small when you read the digest. Like, yeah, but it's way too small when you read Macros or Mac Live. What do I mean by that? I think the iPad Mini is too small for reading experience. The thing is that before you buy, you can't just watch my video. This is really suck. Go to the nearest Apple retail store, authorized resellers, and go try for yourself. Do what you want to do on both of them. Of course, the mini is more portable, smaller, it's lighter, it's cheaper, and you try that. You want a fact? I've given you the iPad Air 2 is 50% faster for the graphics performance. So, but it's not a good time. So, what's the conclusion of this video? It's a good time. Well, if you want to buy the iPad mini, well, fine, you can go buy it. But if you want to wait and see, I want you to hold off your decision for both sizes, the iPad mini or the iPad Air 2, and wait till they release something. Okay, if the rumors were true, they would release the third generation of the iPad Air during that event. If you don't like the ideas of the smart connectors, 4K shit, rear-facing flash, and 4-speaker system, well, probably you can seeking and you shall find. You might be able to find outdated or clearance iPad Air 2 somewhere in your country. That was all. So wait and see. Wait and see. But if they're really going to release the 4K, and after they have released 4K, don't buy the 4K when that's the very first generation. It's like when they were releasing the first generation of the MacBook Pro with Retina display, and then people went through predicament. They went through frustrations about the ghosting shit, LG or Samsung. It's all about marketing tricks or deceptive trade practice, or my friend calls planned obsolescence. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for taking the time. I am just a pathetic OCD patient. Thanks for watching.